for 300 yards in 23 games, it's Aaron Rodgers. Now, here's the interesting part of the survey. Jeremy Fowler writing, while Rodgers appeared on fewer than 60% of the ballots, nearly half of those ballots placed Rodgers in the top 5. So small but passionate. Quarterback purists still love him. Does Rodgers deserve to be at number 8, Brew?
I don't think so. I mean, obviously, they're just giving him respect for a great career and hoping he can do it again. But based on the last time we saw him, you can't have him in the top. And based on his age, being 40, and he's coming off the Achilles injury.
When you say the last time we saw him, you don't mean the Jets.
Not the Jets, right. I mean, that was
2022, we have
2022, here we go.
Yeah.
This is since he's become a starter in the league, which is the last 13 seasons. His last year in Green Bay, worst yards per game, worst passer rating, and second worst in all these other things. TDs, interceptions, yards per attempt. So he appears to be on the decline. And I know a lot of people say, well, he appeared to be on the decline 5 years ago and came back with 2 MVP seasons, but he's now 40 coming off a serious injury.
And if I can add to it, I think we all had a similar version of that graphic. I want to show mine, which is instead of where it ranked for his career, where it ranked in the league. So no one has adequately explained to me how, let's just all pretend the Achilles injury didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you expect a 40-year-old to be better with Bob Saleh and Nat Hackett 2 years from the previous year where he played full-time when he was below average?
And they're going to claim that thumb injury. Remember, it was kind of like that mysterious
No, I get it, but that same year,
he didn't really even use that as
and also, by the end, here's the problem with the thumb injury part of it. Because there's two things. People say thumb injury, and the other thing people will be like, oh, actually the thing was this crazy thing. He didn't care.
Yeah.
He was not motivated. He actually didn't care, just wanted the money, but now he cares again. Do we think the thumb was as healthy as it was for months the final game of the year? Yes, because they were on that winning streak. Do we think in that final game of the regular season, at home against a divisional rival, he was peak motivated? Yes.
Yep.
How did that game end? The way so many of the most recent big games from Aaron have ended, with this just prayer ball, no reason, plenty of time, down 4, opportunity. Again, if you don't remember the context, that was Sunday Night Football because it was winning you're in for them. In that game, he threw for 200 yards, had 1 touchdown, that pick, an 83 rating, was 17 of 27. You can't convince me that that player is now all of a sudden great. He once was great. And then when you add to it, oh yeah, and what happened in the meantime? He tore his Achilles tendon. How that guy is considered, by, as you put, a lot of these guys, a top 5 quarterback is wish casting.
Well, he has to prove it. At the very least, it's like, you got to go out and prove it. We're not going to assume you're going to be the old great Aaron Rodgers until we see it again.
Yeah. Are you talking about we, us, or you too? Because all I hear for you is
football America.
Okay, because I don't know where you're at.
You don't know where I'm going when it comes to my picks. But for now, he's got to prove it.
Okay.
I don't see, with the Jets quickly, he doesn't necessarily have to be a top 10 quarterback. They had a pretty good team, 7 wins, with the worst quarterback play in America. You like to deny it, but it's true. If he's just pretty good.
Just 3 wins. You only have to be 3 wins better than Zach Wilson and everybody else.
Shout out Ty Butler, who does radio on ESPN Radio in New York, texted me, said, man, when the Jets trade for Davante Adams, there are going to be so many parallels between Bruce Nets and Bruce Jets. He's not going to be able to.
Davante Adams thing would change my tune a little.
It would? Oh, see, there we go. Both you guys can fall into that honey trap.
That's a little bit of a game changer.
There you go. Okay.
That's a little bit of a game changer.
The reason why we're not discussing Davante, because I brought it up to Hubs, because Hubs is a Raiders fan. I really think he's trying to keep it out.
You don't think he has a chance?
I think Nat Hackett will have Davante Adams running double reverses rather than posts. Yeah, I don't trust in all. I don't.
The guy went through a year with Josh McDaniels and Jimmy G.
I don't think an offense run by Nat Hackett and quarterbacked by a 40-year-old coming off an Achilles has a chance to be good.
It's Matt
Oh, wow.
LaFleur's offense.
Okay.
But you'd be like, hey, remember that?
Right.
guy?
Okay,
They'd be like,
well,
"Yeah, I
well,
remember it."
okay. All right, we'll see.
Aaron's going to be running it.
Well, there we go. He's back. We got him back. It just took a minute. Yeah.
News
it
out of
guessing.
San Francisco. Brandon Ayuk fully focused shows this week. 3.5. We've got 4 hours to find about 5.5 hours of TV. We're going to deliver to you.
How did you mess that
Gonna
math
be
up
great.
to?
3,
It's 5.
4.5, 5.
Matt,
I'm counting
even.
content time.
Okay, got it.
I'm not counting
Got
commercial
it.
time or promos.
Yeah.
It's first things first. We're back today. The Chiefs bulletin board also back off vacation.
Wow.
One executive making their debut. Also, maybe a fellow media member. I'm not sure. We
Maybe.
discussed it.
Maybe.
That kind of goes against the rules and spirit of the program.
Greenberg wouldn't mind.
But meanwhile, All-Star game tonight on Fox. Coverage starts at 7. A-Rod joins us to talk about Judge, Ohtani, Soto, and my guy, Paul Skeens. I'm putting a claim on Paul
Do you
Skeens.
think
Got
he's
him.
mad at you on behalf of Anthony Edwards, since Anthony Edwards is mad at you?
Paul Skeens, no.
No.
And finally, Micah Parsons finally agrees with Brew. Oh, he's dropping the podcast?
came
No. But he thinks the Cowboys are S-Bob.
Does he?
Of
Alongside,
course they are.
well, I'm Kevin Wildes
Yeah,
alongside Nick Wright.
Welcome to the party.
Brew, are you happy that Micah now believes the Cowboys are also S-Bob?
He's listening to the show, which I'm happy with.
Listening or
Nah,
a good
it's
podcast?
gonna help him out
Is he
this year.
watching it all or just listening?
Well, watching and listening.
Look how brown my hair looks. Wow.
I know.
Something about that salt water. It's like gray right now.
This guy.
Feeling
Salt
good.
water
See
with
you
hair
guys. I
dye.
miss you
Okay.
guys a lot.
I wish I could say this. We start with Jeremy Fowler's yearly survey of executives, coaches, and scouts, which has delivered a few bombshells here. Top 10 QB list. Mahomes at number 1, but not unanimous. More on that in a second. Joe Burrow, Allen, Lamar, the reigning MVP, who I don't know is 60 and 23
Respect
all
on
time.
my guy Matt Stafford's name. How about that? It's right where he was in the mountain, too.
Overrated.
Okay.
Who's saying that? Josh Frisky. Herbert, Stroud, Aaron Rodgers hasn't thrown for you.
Interesting list.
Goff, and then finally Dak. So we'll start with Dak at 10. Here's his stats last year for being the 10th best quarterback in the league.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I don't see any 10s on there. So, Dak too high, too low, or just right?
Brew, I truly don't know where you're going to stand on this. We never talked before the show, but we also haven't talked in 10 days. Brew's been.
I've been
You were on the
gallivanting.
island.
This
that
is,
nice,
so I'm
pretty
curious
tan.
what you're going to say, but I think this is basically the exact right spot for Dak. Even if I might have a couple guys who were behind him ahead of him and a couple guys who were ahead of him behind him. You know what I mean? Like I might, but I think 10th best quarterback in the league is almost exactly right, especially because it seems like rookies were ineligible for this list. So if you're really high on Caleb like me or Jaden or Drake or whomever.
I don't know if they're ineligible. I just don't know if anyone's putting Caleb top 10.
Well, no, I don't think I mean.
You want Drake May top 10?
No, I
maybe?
don't think any rookie has ever, when they've done this,
nobody's
gotten top 10 votes. So they're de facto ineligible.
Yeah.
So, and that's why this is such a tough spot for Dallas, Brew. Because he's clearly not in there's the Mahomes tier,
Right.
then there's that tier right beneath it, which I think we all kind of agree on mostly who's in that. Lamar is in it, Josh Allen's in it, Burrow's in it. And he's clearly also better than guys like Baker or Kirk post Achilles, I think. I would say Tua in that, but I know we don't have to argue about it. He is somewhere in that meaty middle of good. And you love that quarterback on a rookie deal. You're fine with that quarterback on a good deal. And you're terrified of that quarterback on the highest, being the number 1 paid guy in the league, which is the spot Dallas finds themselves in. But as far as the actual pen to paper rankings, about 10 to me, Brew, is exactly right.
Yeah, I'm not mad at your analysis of that. I think there are a group of 7, 8 guys or so that are, any given year will go from 8 to 15 or whatever.
Correct.
Here are the 6 that are on that list behind Dak that you might want to argue. Someone might want to argue for. Tua, Jordan Love, Cousins, Jalen Hurts, Trevor Lawrence, and Brock Purdy.
Yes.
And I'm going to kind of compare each one to Dak. Tua, just no. Just no.
Just
I'm not putting him ahead of Dame.
Just no.
I mean,
Rusty
just
on the
first of all, okay, one healthy season in 4 years, and can't beat any good teams. 1-6 against playoff teams,
and
then
God forbid
a
it's
brisk
chilly.
win. A brisk
God
win.
forbid
It'll be a little bit
the
chilly,
wind is okay
and
with
you're
the
done.
chilly.
All right, so
right,
2 is
Brew,
out.
correct.
George